Hey guys. I don't know why I bothered logging in. You look like you handle this pretty well yourself. Everyone seems to be running along beautifully without me. Hey Poppy. Mike, g'day. Mark Osborne, hello. Peter. Chirpy, g'day. Good to see you. Tommy Gun Machining, hello. And Maddie, g'day. Fridge, hello again. John, g'day. JB, hello. Craig, g'day. You guys handle this pretty well on your own without me. I don't know why I bother. You could just chat amongst yourselves for half an hour and then log off. Good evening. Wednesday evening, 27th. Come the weekend, it'll be 3 weeks to Christmas. It's pretty crazy. I don't know where this year's really gone, actually. Don't know where it went. Feel like I haven't accomplished as much as I really wanted to. Casual, g'day. Nintendo Mouse. Who follows Switch and Lever? Probably not anyone. Awesome maker channel. Switch and Lever. Does some pretty cool stuff. But he's just released this as his first real product, which is a 32-bit wireless mouse, which is pretty cool, really. Yeah, you can see some Nintendo origins in it. It's got 2 buttons. It's got a battery in the bottom, and it comes with a little wireless receiver for the USB port as well, plugged in there. It's got page up and page down and through the tabs on here, and it's got left and right click, and it's got touchscreen scroll in the middle, which you can't see. So it's pretty cool. I kind of like it. I thought, well, if you're, hey Cam, if you're going to produce something cool and you're a YouTube creator and you're making a bit of an effort to make videos as well as work on a product or put it through to manufacturer or offer it for sale, you're worth supporting. So happy to buy something cool if you put it out there. And I bought a mouse from Switch and Lever. Comes in a nice box, like decent box. Comes straight from China in a FedEx package. Was here in a couple of days. It's a nice, one of those nice boxes with the good fit, airtight box. Pretty good fun. So check out Switch and Lever. I don't think you'll get one of these because I think he's out of stock again. But I thought it was pretty cool. So that come this week, and I sort of, it's pretty cool. It was on the computer actually, and I brought it across here and thought I'd show you. Hey Raymond, Kevin, did I say g'day, Kevin? Machine NZ, good to see you anyway. Shrink rolls. Shrink rolls are getting hard to find. They're still making them, but they're crazy expensive, and decent shrink rolls are hard to find. These ones, JB from Oz laser cut, they're all right. They're all right. That one I use a fair bit, which is 3/16 the foot for aluminium. This one's a bit busy, really. It's the same as this one, but that's about as good as you want for pattern making, that sort of graduation. You want something nice and clear and easy to read. This one's 1/8 for cast iron. JB did these on his laser cutter. They're pretty cool. Picked this one up today. Funny money rule. This one's awesome, David. I wonder what you got. Let us know. Which kit did you buy? 5/16 to the foot. I've been looking for one of these. The next project's got to be 5/16 to the foot. Yes, it's a shrink rule for casting for a foundry pattern. What you find is that metal shrinks when it cools. So you pour something in a hole and then it's a little bit smaller when it cools. And that's all okay. Cast iron's 1/8 of an inch to the foot, completely independent of volume. That's the easiest way to work it out. If you've got something that's a foot long or 305 millimeters long, it'll shrink 3.2 millimeters, something like that in each direction. So that's what that rule is for. This one's for aluminium is a bit more. Now this one's 5/16 of an inch to the foot, which is a fair bit actually. If we have a look at this 12-inch rule, that's how much longer it is on 12 inches. So next project or next casting or pattern project that I'm doing is sort of a commission job for a foundry, and that's got to be cast on an aluminium master, which is 3/16 of an inch to the foot shrinkage, and then that aluminium pattern's still got to be good enough to cast iron on, so that's another 1/8 of an inch. So 1/8 and 3/16, 5/16 of an inch to the foot, and that's why you use something odd like a 5/16 of an inch to the foot shrink rule. So I don't know if that's particularly helpful, but that's why I have this. Flywheel is 13 inch and I can't lift the box full. More information, David, more information. Be very interested to see. That's about twice as big as this, so that's a crazy project. Did I sort out the tablet mount? Not yet. Sort of. I have this, which is a GoPro mount stick-on one. I don't really want to stick it right on the back of my tablet because that's a bit of a pain, but I'd like to stick it on an actual tablet case. However, I don't have a tablet case for the new Tab A because no one seems to have one yet. So we'll look around and we'll find one before very long. A bit more of a look tomorrow. Velcro is probably a really good option, actually, but I don't know if it'll hold it. Velcro's a good thought. I'll think about that. There are ways we could do that, actually. That's thanks for that, Casual. That's awesome. Machine Z, cast iron. What's the makeup? Is it pure cast iron? No, it's not. If you cast pure cast iron, I believe you get white iron, which is hard, crystalline, unmachinable cast iron. It needs additives in it, and there has to be a fairly strict recipe to follow before you get cast iron that you can actually machine. I'm not sure what's involved, but I know it probably has something in it to soften it, probably. And it'll have other alloys as well, I believe, but I'm not sure about that. But if you just melt cast iron and re-pour it, you end up with something that's not much good for anything, usually. Definitely check that out, Cam. Thanks for that. Silicon certainly has, I think, but anyways, a lot of people know more about that than me. I know how to make a pattern so it releases out of the mold some of the time, and that seems to be something I'm reasonably good at. I don't know how that happened, but we seem to be getting some pattern making jobs now, so that's a good thing. If anyone's got any shrink rules kicking around though that they want to get rid of, hit us up, because they're worth money, and I'd be interested. I would like a new step from Starrett, but I'm not paying $50-$60 each for them. This one's seen better days. It's not got too much of a bend in it. It's got PCL on that side and A.H. Oldham on that side in much more old-fashioned writing. So I imagine A.H. Oldham may have been the original owner. PCL might have come along a bit later on, I don't know. But that's a fairly old pattern, tempered number 4. Athol, Massachusetts, USA. The LS Starrett Co. So it's marked LS Starrett Co., which makes it quite a bit older, I think, than some of these, which this is probably just one side and the other side, but this one's Starrett. C357. Anyway, this is a number 6868. Kind of cool. Hey, Rustnux, good to see ya. Hello from the world. Thanks, Chirpy. You have problems, parts like this, which is the piston for this engine. It's fairly thin in the wall, and there's a lot of small pieces sticking out on the inside. Very difficult to get it to cool slow enough that it's going to be much good for anything. This one's machinable, but it's still a little bit on the hard side, but I don't think it'll be a problem. It's certainly can take a cut off there, and it's not sort of glazing up too much. It's not polishing, so I imagine that's probably not bad cast iron. What else? Mr. Pete got in touch this week about maybe a collaboration idea. Sort of a group collaboration thing, something like Tip Blitz 19, probably not quite as big, but there's a lot of logistics to sort out on that. And I'm not saying too much more about it, and it probably won't be till after Christmas, but it might be a good fun thing. If you get an email about that, don't put it in the junk folder. Have a bit of a look at it, because it might be a pretty cool thing to be part of. So anyway, that might be a little bit more effort than the Tip Blitz thing. It's probably going to require a pretty decent project video of some sort. So I don't know who's in for that. That changes things a bit, because putting a bit of effort into something, most creators are a bit short on time anyway. So I'm still thinking about that, to the point I haven't even sort of said to anyone else. Hey, Stefan, good to see you. But there's plenty of time to sort that out. What else? This weekend we put the pipes on this. Is out of frame. That's Steph with the F. Good to see you. I'm glad you're still alive. You've been pretty quiet the last few weeks. Obviously busy. But it's good to see you, Stefan. Put these pipes on this week. All these hex bolts are a pain in the... They take forever to go in and out. Hey, Darren. Good to see you. And they're terrible slow to fit up and pull apart. And fiddly. The drawing has cheese heads or Philister head screws, which were probably the industry standard back in the 20s. I don't think I'm going to change them all to Philister heads. I'm probably going to put nuts and studs on these anyway, and the others I might leave as hex yet. But there's still no hole in the middle. Oh, there is, but I still haven't bought it. That might even happen this weekend coming. I think I've got that keyed up to do that, so pretty excited about that. Took this bush off here. Had a shrink fit bush on here because I misread the drawing and thought it had to be that big, but it doesn't. So I've taken that off, and that leaves us room for a bush on here. There's still plenty to do on this, and it's a pretty chunky little engine. I'd like to see something though with 13-inch flywheels. I hope we see an update on that one. So that's really all that's happened. The other thing that's happened, hold the phone, something else happened this week. I had a pretty good return out of Google Ads for Tip Blitz, and I hope everyone else did too who's got a monetized channel. I really do hope that you did okay out of that. I didn't do too shabby, really. I was pretty impressed. And with that money, I've gone and bought a DRO for the milling machine. So, the Chinese one, after the recommendation of all you guys. So, awesome. And Stefan, as Marcus calls you, Stefan, that's fantastic to hear. So, anyway, RPM on this is going to be about 350, 400, I guess, 450 maybe flat out. At the rate you're climbing, it'll be next week, Craig. So, anyway, bought a DRO, so hopefully that'll be here tomorrow. The postal tracking said it was going to be here today, and it wasn't, so you don't get to see that. But probably this weekend I'm going to hook up at least one axis and sort of get some bolts and things in, maybe. I don't know. We'll see how we go with that. But that's the exciting thing that's happening here. And I'm kind of looking forward to that. Hey, Stevens, good to see you. Sorry we woke you up, Stephen. It's good to see you. Your barbecue turned out really well. That's a nice job. I don't know what the whole American barbecue thing is. Americans and barbecues, they all seem to have one or think it's a good idea to have one. Much more likely to stay alive in Australia if you stay inside and cook, but that's just how it is. You haven't missed anything. As normal, Stephen, we haven't really done anything or talked about anything much. Apart from that, there's no extra mail, really. There's a little bit of progress on Chirpy's boilers. That's a bit exciting. I ordered some rubber tube and stuff, and I've sort of sketched some stuff up, and I think I know where I'm going with that. So a couple of hours spent in CAD and a couple of hours sketching up and seeing what bits and pieces that I've got kicking around. I think we can make some burners that work. So I'm pretty excited about that. Tommy, dials, that's the other thing, is that my milling machine's missing 2 dials. And that's all very well. And I can make nice dials and make it repeatable, but it's also got an 8 TPI lead screw, which means that each dial is 125 thousandths of an inch, which is a real pain. After metric dials, where each turn is 2 millimeters, you can't continuously count on a 125 RPM, 125 thousandths of an inch dial. It's a pain having to start again. And you get to 125, and then 2 turns is 250, and then you want to go another 63,000. That's 303, 313, something like that. It's a pain. So that's why I've gone for a DRO on the milling machine. Propane is, we're thinking about it. He's got ML7, Craig. Chirpy, I'm just trying to get out of this for no money. That's all. I'm cheap. So the boilers, I had good success with the one I had. It just doesn't burn long enough to heat all the water in the big boiler. So something with the external tank will be fantastic, and I think I've got it worked out. 125 is an eighth. What's wrong with that? Except for counting, you've got to count in 125ths, and then you've got to do the video in black and white, and then you've got to use a filter on the video because you're using imperial measurements, and you've got to be in keeping with that. All that sort of stuff. Whereas metric's easy, you can just do it in color. Anyway, DRO's there. So. Hey, Dennis. We can do it in 8mm. I've got equipment here to process Super 8. It's probably unlikely to ever happen again because it's too much messing about and it's too expensive. I always had a thought that I would love to do a workshop video in Super 8 and convert it across to digital and upload it, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. It might be fun one day. I think that it could be. It's not an ML10 because an ML10 has a prismatic bed on it like a hard hinge, so it's not one of those. It's definitely got a gap in there or a space in the center of the bed, so it's not ML10. I'd say it's a Super 7 or something like that. Okay, John. Hey, Paddy, good to see you. Betamax. I probably have some. I do have. Oh gosh, I don't know if I can even lay my hand on it right now, but I do have some Super 8. And I've got a Super 8 production line for processing, but I used to do a little bit of it, but it's a bit of a pain in the. Anyway. Gosh, we're all over the place here. You're doing well though. Exciting to see your new lathe coming together, Stephen. That's awesome, and I can't wait to see it going. And I'm going to go back and look at the Myford Boy video again. Child is standard. I can see the wind-up videographer coming out, new Dennis, when I see you at the bash with your big video camera with a microphone and everything on it. Don't hold me to that, but it might be fun at some point to do a 8mm video of some sort and upload it. I've always thought that, but I really don't miss film processing at all, so probably I could just put a filter on it and no one would even know. Fairly unsure about anything else, really. I don't know if there's very much else to cover. We've managed to cover all bases. So, unless someone else has got something else that they could bring up, I might call this. I might say I've had enough and go to bed. Actually, what I'm going to do is go and watch Chirpy's tool grinder videos. That looks like it's well worth having a look at. If you haven't seen them, you probably should go and have a look at them anyway. Who else has got a video that's out at the moment? I've got heaps of projects, Chirpy. You've got no idea. I'm just too embarrassed to get them out here because I haven't done anything to any of them. Thanks. That's the other thing. Yeah, there's a video up on that little traction engine roof. I'm really pleased with that. It's not a simple job at all, even a little bit. It's a good design and it's well thought out and it goes together pretty well, but it's sort of a bridge a little bit further than the rest of the traction engine. So if you get through and make the traction engine, and I know there's a few people watching this who intend to do that, I'm going to organise some castings. So anyone who said that they'd like some castings and didn't ever get them or didn't ever go through with it or whatever, drop me an email or let me know. I'm not sure where I am on numbers, and I'll get some castings. Machine So let me know on that. But anyway, I'm really pleased. You want to resharpen some end mills for us, Chirpy? Yeah, I don't know about that. It sounds like a bit of a job, a bit of a learning curve. Well done, JB. Drop us an email, Poppy, and we'll see if we can sort out some camera or something for you so that we're not quite as blurry. See what we work out what's causing that. Hey, Scott. Machine NZ's 3 ER32 collet chuck series is pretty good. Looks great. I think Joe is still talking about doing a traction engine. I'm not sure if he's making videos about it though. I think the castings were about $65, which is way too cheap. I think if I do another run, they might be a bit more than that, but we'd be interested in swapping too if you're local. So we can trade something. Anyone who's interested, I'd be happy to do that. I think he wants to make both, he was telling me. But the Myford Boy traction engine is a beautiful engine. I built his stationary engine, which has the same parts in it, as far as cylinder and piston valve and valve gear and everything. And it really is a very well-designed, well-made engine, and the traction engine looks amazing. But it's quite a project compared to the Kenneth Wills. I'd say it's probably 3 times as much work. There's a lot of bits in it. Machine NZ, no, you don't want to know about that. The castings for the Kenneth Wells traction engine, I did a few sets. I've got one set here that's a defect. These are a pretty crappy set, actually. This is probably not too bad. We'll pass that. These have got a lot of sand inclusions in them. And I wouldn't like to machine them, and I wouldn't really expect anyone else to machine them. And they've got a lot of flash on them. They're pretty rough casting, really. So these are probably going to go back, and I'll cast some more wheels. These were done in a bit of a hurry. So that's the traction engine castings, and I did 3 or 4 or 5 sets and seemed to get rid of them okay. The last set went to David Few only about 3 or 4 weeks ago. All Rustanox video was good. It was excellent. Awesome's the word. What do we want on trade? Other people's projects. You've got a project that needs finishing you're not going to get to, send it in. I can't really do plans with the casting. PM me about that. The official answer is no. However, PM me about the plans. They look better than winter castings. Mark, that's really nasty. But yes, they're probably as good as winter castings. This isn't too bad. These are terrible. These are really bad. And I haven't sent them to anyone because they really are bad. Difiler. If Chirpy, I'm not sure I even speak English. Yeah, no comment on that one. Stickers haven't turned up yet. That's because the box is still sitting here on the bench. I'll post them in the morning. You'll have them by the weekend. Really sorry, Maddie. You don't have enough space to handle all the projects I've more or less given up on, Chirpy says. That's very true. I try not to give up on projects, but the list gets longer before it gets shorter. It tends to. I've made good progress on this. I would like to say that I haven't given any thought to the next project after this one. That's a lie. I have ideas. Take care, Rustnox. You're at work, obviously. Don't run into anything, and hopefully the front won't fall off. Anyway, so I'm not real keen to do a lot of sets of castings of these. It's pretty hard work. These patterns were very early days and they're really terrible. If I promised them to anyone, I'd be happy to do a set, but it's a 2-day weekend to really pour 2 or 3 sets of them, and I'm only really paying expenses on them. So not that keen, but if anyone is interested, or if you've got an offer we can't refuse, I might be interested. And probably I can nearly pour these at home and take my time over them, but Sand Foundry is a messy and it's probably not going to happen. Anyway, we've probably exhausted that. It's been a work day and things have been pretty busy all day, and I haven't really even thought about this. Gosh, I can't share it on here, but who wants... Hey, I'll send it to Craig. I emailed him today. I'll send that through. No worries at all. Poppy, happy to do that. Anyway, g'day, Brendan. Good to see you. People still rolling in. Yeah, I need to probably go and actually do something. So take care, guys. It's good to jump in on the live stream and see all you guys there ready to chat and talk about stuff, and that's awesome. This is my social part of the week. It wasn't a very exciting email, Craig. Vacation won't hurt you at all, Dennis. Do expect a video now though on the South Bend. So that's, now you've said that, we're in trouble. Good to see you, Cam. Interested in seeing... I still haven't seen the video for the guard yet. I'm still going to watch on that. Anyway, I'm going to go. Email me anyone who might be interested in doing a bit of a collab video. So I've got a bit of a list. I've already got a pretty good list, but drop me an email, missemmajade@gmail.com. So that's out there. Drop us an email if you want to be on the mailing list. So we'll see what happens with that, but don't expect anything for the next few weeks. And be kind to each other. Stay off Twitter. Don't put your political opinion out there. No one cares. And anyone who does care isn't going to listen because they've got their own. And make something cool, as Dale Derry says. So thanks, and I'm out.